All right, let's do this. Let's do this. I have some cool stuff, some real cool stuff for you guys. Wow. Let's give a few minutes since I didn't tell anybody I was going to be doing a live stream today. I'll go ahead and wait a couple minutes and now I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I have been working on. As a matter of fact, I just cleared out the space. It was full of some stuff. Guys, I just posted a video moments ago working in new collaboration with the new video editor, and it's amazing that my videos go completely across the world, and somebody on the other side of the world puts them together and edits them and does a better job than I could. So hydrocollator rebuild is going to be my first video in collaboration with this new talent, and I just got through watching it and it came out fantastic. The hydrocollator itself, or hydrocollator, just left my office just moments ago. It went to its new life someplace. I don't know. But anyway, guys, very excited because that takes so much of the hassle off of me. So, garbled user, what's going on, man? I have some crazy stuff in a project, an experiment. Let's say experiment. We'll see how this works. I don't know how it will, but why not? Let's try it. So for today, I have a couple things that I want to go over. Let's throw some parts down there. So I have a project, and if you guys see this guy back here, this guy is an inversion table, and you'll see them in physical therapy clinics and stuff all the time, except they usually have a fancy model which has an up and down button, and you can variably position your body at various stages of the inversion to total inversion, where you're just hanging by your ankles, which actually can be quite relaxing. But anyway, guys, my project is to motorize this guy. See? It works completely on positioning of the body and centering the body as close to zero as possible. You can do that through height adjustments and length, so that adjusts where the center of gravity is on your torso. So anyway, that's one of the projects, and I'm going to do that with the cheapest winch I could find on Amazon. So yes, sir, that's going to be one of my projects here. I hope it works out all right. But man, tornado cleanup, I heard about some massive tornadoes, and I hope y'all are doing all right, man. That's wild. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and switch over to the over table cam, and I'll show you some of the parts that I have right here. And I'm kind of curious about what's inside some of these parts. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Bam, there we go. So these are all hydroculator parts that I just took off a machine. And here's an interesting thing. The back of the hydroculator itself said that it was 1,000 watts, but the OEM shipped a 1,500 watt part. I'm curious about that. I'm really curious. Why is it that the data sheet on the machine would say 1,000 watts, but they would ship me a 1,500 watt part? I like how I'm fighting the camera. That's so cool. But anyway, that's the part that was sent over, and it's 50% more power than what the data plate says. So I guess it is what it is, man. So anyway, here is the heating element out of that unit, and it's very pliable, very lightweight. And sometimes on these heating elements, you'll see pitting, which will get past the outer shielding or the outer layer of copper. And when you see that, that's how you actually change the resistance of the heating element. So the element itself, which is on the inside, should be insulated from the outside. Like there should be no continuity whatsoever between the outside and this point right here. And I'm pretty sure that there isn't. So one of the things I did is I actually did a breakdown. Over here is a schematic, and you guys will have to watch the video where people just won't leave me alone. So anyway, I did a schematic and a breakdown of all these components, and I said that a good working heating element should be between 16 and 14 ohms. That was an estimate, real quick. Let's see. Since the other heating element said it was 1500 watts, sometimes they have it stamped on the heating element how many watts they are. This one's got a lot of pitting. Let's see, there's a flat spot right there. And maybe at one time it was stamped on it. I don't know, the corrosion's kind of set in. Oh well. It looks identical to the last part, so if this is 1500 watts, then it's going to be a lower ohm heating element. If it's 1000 watts, it's going to be higher ohms. And let's see, there is a calculator. Hold on, let's see. I'll find it. It's heating element resistance calculator. Okay, and it brings up a Ohm's law calculator. Okay, so let's try 120 volts, and let's do let's do 1000 watts. Hold on. Let's switch camera views so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, Ohm's law calculator, it's pretty simple. 120 volts. We'll go down to 1000 watts. Go. And you can see that it should be 14.4, and I said 6 to 14 ohms. Huh? Is that good or what? I'm doing this math in my head like out of nowhere. So anyway, and if we change that to 1500 watts, go. It says 9.6 ohms. Okay, all right. I'm right in the button. So let's see how many ohms this guy is right here. Now this is off a M4 hydroculator or hydrocollator, whatever you guys want to call it. Okay, there we go. And there is a little bit of rust on them, so I'll have to take that into account. Look at that. I got 9.2 ohms. Holy cow. Now, why would the build sticker, so for 1500 watts, it would be 9.6 ohms, and I'm 9.2. So technically, it could be pulling around 1550 to 1600 watts. That's like maxing out a 15 amp breaker. Wow. Anyway, that should have a 20 amp cord on it. So this heating element right here, this heating element is technically good, all right? So measuring between here and here, and also, I'll tell you what, let's check to see if the copper on the outside has any continuity to the heating element. Nope. Nope. There we go. So those are the two tests you would check for heating element, is the ohms between the two, and then from the copper on the outside to either one, all right? And if you have no continuity between these, you're good, all right? So, wow, okay. So that wasn't the cool one that I was after. I just wanted to take a look because this heating element had some corrosion on the terminals and a little bit of pitting on the outside. And pitting is a no-go. So anyway, that needed replaced. I mean, I was already in there tearing stuff out. It was a good video, hydroculator rebuild. So I have a collection of burned fittings, like burned, all right? And I kept all of them, all my clippings, I kept them. I thought maybe they're gonna make good souvenirs and they might be worth something someday. Just kidding. Anyway, I have here my thermostat, and right here is my thermal cutoff. So this guy right here is capillary tube that goes through a through panel, and the through panel's got a nut that screws on the other side. And what this should do is be pushing on a diaphragm here under this cap. So what I wanted to do is let's peel back the layers and let's see what's going on inside this component. Okay, so right here, hopefully this works with these pliers, and it might not work so well. Come on. A die grinder would probably do wonders right about now, because this guy is tough, real tough. But I'm tougher. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The stainless steel pin cutter. These are some real toughies. Matter of fact, not too much can get away from these guys because they got carbide jaws. And believe it or not, this thing is sharp as hell. Very sharp. So this looks like just a composite. Oh, here, I'll tell you what. Let's just do it this way. Let's take it apart like a normal human. It's got a little lock washer here. Take that guy off. We'll take the reset button off. So this is a resettable thermal breaker. There we go. Let's take it apart like a normal human. I've got two brads right here, and those look like they are welder solder points for the terminals. That's what I'm going to guess. Maybe not. Let's see, how am I going to get this guy apart? Come on. And as you would imagine, this guy's a little sharp, all right? Handy Mike, how's it going, man? Yeah, these will corrode through, and they do short the ground. Yep, you're right. And that would be a very bad no-go. All right, I'm gonna clip that capillary tubing. I wish I could clip this and show you guys a cross section without it messing up every time. I'd have to put it on the grinder and grind it down. So this capillary tubing, there, you can barely see it there, and of course you're not gonna see it. You're gonna see that tiny little pinhole right there. So it is a hollow tube, and there should be just a couple drops of fluid in there at best. And this guy should just be a micro switch that is based on a plunger. Come on, open. I think I made even more sharp points on it. Come on. I'm going to be really upset if I can't. Believe it or not, this guy's really tough. Really, really tough. And between two sets of pliers, I'm hoping I'm tougher. Jeez. Let's flip these guys around. Come on. Just open up. Just, come on. Well, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. I can see the diaphragm in there. It's because it's pressure. it's obviously going to be sealed pretty good, but I thought I could just roll back like a lip seal. This guy is extremely well built considering. Darn it. Oh well. That sucks. So those guys go out reasonably often. Now these guys, this right here is my thermostat, so I'm just going to cut that capillary tubing off. Just put all this over here. And this guy, how's it held together? Okay. So I have one large nut here, and I've got 3 through body fasteners. See, 1, 2, 3. So let's pull those 3 out. And they should be holding the entire body of this thing together. Yeah. Let's do this. There we go. Now y'all can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Okay. So these are flat heads, of course. Okay, is that it? That is it. All right. So here is the, what? Okay. Well, this guy does not look threaded. So that's where I'm a little confused. If it's threaded, it's barely threaded at all. So this guy right here, it's range limited, so it looks like it only spins about 180 degrees. Yep, it's got a little ball socket right there. See it? And then underneath it, I have a spring-loaded lever. Come on, slide out. Beauty. Okay, so here is that spring-loaded diaphragm that is going to be pushed on by the capillary tubing and the steam that's in the bulb. So you can see it acts like a little bellows. Beautiful. This one comes apart certainly a wee bit easier than the other one. So here are my electrical contacts. Right down there. Electrical contacts look fantastic. Here's my other contact points. Oh, this camera just does not want to focus. Okay. And wow. Right here is, yep. So you can see what happens as you push down on this guy. That is wild. That is absolutely wild how that thing works. So yeah, what you're doing is you're going to add resistance to this thing letting go like that, which is going to disconnect these points. So by pushing down on this guy, it has to come up. It articulates up in order for this to disconnect. So by adding more force against this little lever down here, you're making it more difficult for these points here to disconnect. And that's how you can adjust your temperature up. It knows the temperature up because the capillary tubing comes in here, and it's going to flex this disc more and more. And there you go. It's actually a pretty simple device. Pretty inexpensive as well. All right, so we got some interesting fasteners. Yeah, I always want to tear one of those apart and see just how much current is arcy sparking on those contacts, and they looked still fantastic, really good. So let's go ahead and throw these in the trash. So if you guys haven't seen my video that I just posted on hydroculators and rebuilding, one of the things I found in the unit that I tore apart is that a lot of the fittings were burnt because they were loose. The unit was only getting to about 100 degrees, but then again, when I got there, I noticed that the over temp was wrapped around the heating element. It was wrapped around the heating element. That's wild. And then I found some burnt fittings like this, and they're burnt because they were loose and because of the surge of current every single time this thing goes through a heating cycle, because it's full current on, full current off. I mean, that's just how it works. So it was an intense rebuild. Probably some of the craziest stuff was a lot of the corrosion that I had to clean up, and that was wild. So I went through the whole process, showed everybody clips from each stage, and just posted that about 10 minutes ago. So go check it out. It's going to be a good video. Anyway, let's go ahead and get some of these components back in the bag. I kept all these fittings because the guy that owns the hydrocollator or hydroculator, when he came to pick it up, I was going to hand him a bag full of parts, you know, just like they do when you go to fix your car at an auto manufacturer or at a car repair place. So that's what I did. I handed him a bag full of parts along with his thermal cutoff and his thermostat, and, you know, said, here you go, man. Complete rebuild. There you go. But I'm glad that that's done. Guys, this is going to be probably one of my last videos. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make any videos throughout the week, because tomorrow I'm driving completely across the state of Texas to a place called Lubbock. All right. So I'm going to be way over up towards Albuquerque, New Mexico. So it's going to be a 9-hour drive tomorrow for me. And I'm leaving at like 6 a.m. I'm heading out, and I'm going to a customer's account to check out, see what's going on, see what type of equipment maintenance plan they have there, and, you know, help them out with some of their stuff, because they're shorthanded. And I know a lot of people are, but, you know, I also like to get out and see the technicians and stuff. And so anyway, because I'm going to be at customer accounts and I'm going to be on the other side of the state, I don't know how much time I'm going to have for making videos. So it is what it is. I do know tomorrow's going to be one hell of a long day. And because I've been suffering from back problems, I got this brilliant idea of doing something about it. And, you know, it's funny because these inversion tables, they're too heavy and too cumbersome to leave up all the time. So we put them away. They fold up kind of nicely. But here's the problem, is if you have back pain, you're already in pain to be pulling it out. So I don't know, if I could find like a ceiling hoist or something and hoist it up against my ceiling and stage it up there flat against the ceiling or something, that would be fantastic. But anyway, that brings me to what I wanted to do today. I had this brilliant idea of going ahead and buying the cheapest winch I could find off of Amazon, because it's going to be an extremely low current situation. Just pulling this guy down at various stages, you know, and then allowing it to come back up. So there's a couple problems that I have. One of them is when the upper torso is heavier than the lower torso on pretty much every human alive. So when you get fully inverted like this, you want to stay down. So I have to add some sort of spring-loaded feature to always want you to go back upright. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but you guys are along for the ride because I'm really curious, what does the cheapest winch off of Amazon also look like? And to help me out with that, here we go. This is the Stegodon, and this is a 2,500 pound winch, and it's made in China. I don't know where the hell anybody would else think it's made. This is, it says it's for 2,500 pounds. Huh. Not really sure, but man, I am so curious. So let's go ahead and let's switch camera angles so you guys can see what's in the box. Let's check out the build quality. Now, mind you, it doesn't have to be real skookum because it's just me. You know, it's just flipping me over. It can't be that much of a load. And I do have a 12-volt battery down there, but if it doesn't draw very many amps, I would like to hook it up to a AC to DC power supply and see how it goes from there. What do you think? All right, I'll tell you what, I like this camera all of a sudden. Me and this camera, we have not had a good time together, so I all of a sudden, oh no, camera, come on. You guys dizzy yet? The axes are reversed. Oh, why would the axes be reversed? Here we go. Clink. Clink. There we go. All right, guys. You had to bear with me. Every camera in this shop can be adjusted, and it just takes, you know, a little bit of motivation. I'm not staying up on the chat, you guys. I am so sorry. How you doing, Catherine? Good to see you again. Absolutely. $1,250 kilograms. Jesus Christ, that's way heavier than me. That's for darn sure. So because I'm going to be doing a whole string of official videos with companies and stuff and whatnot, I have been trying to lose a few extra pounds, you know, doing the good deed. So far I am 12 pounds down, and I am going to keep going because I got to look nice in a suit. So, oh wow, okay, so it's got a few extra things I wasn't counting on. It's got a cable guide. What do you get for $60 hoist or winch? I was definitely not expecting much, that's for sure. It's better than I thought. Better than I thought. So first off, I got a cable guide. So a dual roll cable guide, pretty nice. Not the heaviest gauge steel. Doesn't really need to be, does it? But the mounting plate, however, the mounting plate's actually kind of hefty. I dig it. Like I said, you don't really expect very much for a $60 winch. It's 50 some dollars. So, okay. We have a waterproof, sealed hand control, button up, button down. So all it's going to be doing is switching the polarity of your input to the output. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I love it. Oh my goodness. All right. This guy is a little dense. Cool. So it is all metal, which I wasn't expecting that. Let's see, pull out and turn wheel. So yeah, there's my free spool. So I pull this out, yep. You can free spool all you want. Now let's see, Does that even fit through there? It does. I was starting to question because this hook is a little too fat and it's crimped on. And Yeah, I guess it's crimped good enough. But when it's crimped on like that, I was thinking, does that even fit through the spool? Yeah, somebody already thought this stuff through. Go figure. Okay, so this guy's gonna fit on here. I'll figure this out. Let's flip this guy around that way. I'll have the cable going down. Let's go ahead and hook up some power terminals, and I'll bring a 12-volt battery up. We'll check it out. Let's see if it even runs. I mean, that's really kind of the point of this, right? If it runs, I know I can make it work. I'll make something work. So the motorized inversion tables are very expensive. They are like $2,500, something like that. So I was thinking, what can I do, you know, to maybe come up with a kit or something to show people the simple way of doing this. And I think I have a shackle. So if I have a shackle, then I can run the cable up to, I don't know, maybe the headstock. Maybe down here there's a metal frame on the bottom side. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But the important part is when you tell it to go back up, that it somehow forces itself back up. Because if it doesn't, then the spool here will lose its positioning. And if it loses its positioning, then we got trouble. So I see that there's a blade right here, and this blade is taut against the cable so that it can't cross. So it should naturally spool exactly back up and go back and forth. It should. I guess that's one of the things we'll try out. Again, this is not a it's not a poly-coated steel braided cable. It's just a steel braided cable. The poly-coated are a little bit nicer. You don't take a chance of getting metal splinters and stuff. But again, this is going to be an indoor environment. This, all in all, this is going to add like another 10 or 15 pounds. So what I was thinking is to mount this to a platform that goes underneath the feet of this table. And you put the table basically on the deck, on this deck that this guy's mounted on. And then you can go up and down, and the feet will keep the deck down, you know, and you should be good. So that's the plan, because I can't mount this to that. It would be way too heavy to move around, especially if you got back pain. It is what it is. All right. Let's see. We got these terminals here. Oh, cool. And they did color code them. So I do have yellow over here and blue over here. It's kind of nice. I thought I was going to have to hook it up one way and figure out, you know, through trial and error what polarity is correct. There we go. Now, if I could only find a way to do this economically, because there's so many people that have back problems around the world, and this inversion table here, it is an absolute game changer. I'm telling you, I've had back problems ever since back in the military, and this inversion table is one of the best things I ever bought, because it doesn't help the day that you have back pain, but a couple days afterwards, like 2 days afterwards, 1 day afterwards, you will immediately feel the relief. And it's because what it does is it stretches out your spine using your body's weight, because normally throughout the course of your day, throughout the course of having bad posture, etc., your spine will become disaligned and you'll have some compression on your discs, etc. So by using this guy at various stages of incline, decline, decline is the health, your health. But at various stages, that's when you know, you'll feel it a little bit, and sometimes it's really sharp pain. As you feel your spine like stretching back out, it can be really painful. But a day or two later, you will feel better. Okay, let's see. All right. Oh, let's hope there's some juice in this battery. Oh, come on. Big girl. Okay, how am I going to test out this battery? Well, I'm gonna have to go full redneck on this one, guys. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to break out the vice grips. Now, I do have a battery terminal clamp set someplace, and I do have some gator clips someplace, but I don't know where the heck they are. So here's how we're gonna do it in the meanwhile. There's one. Are you guys waiting to see if it arky sparks? Like if I get one set of vice grips to touch the other. There we go. Instant battery clips. There you go. Take that to the bank. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't even know if this battery's charged. What are the odds? Okay. Okay. We'll take our lumps. Should have checked it before. I get it. I get it. Let's see. Yes. Yes. All right. All right. Well, speaking of 12-volt power supplies, I have here a 13-volt, 10-amp constant. Will it pull 10 amps? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will, especially under load. But how convenient is this? We have screw-down terminals. I have an on-off. I have overcurrent protection. I just did a live stream the other day when I brought this guy out, and I was like, I have no idea when I'm ever going to use this power supply, but I have it, and I was excited to have it. Now you know. Now you know. Some people are like, man, you're such a hoarder. Until you need something, especially when you're fixing stuff, it's nice to have a high amperage 12-volt power supply. Let's do this. That will blow the fuse. Man, you don't know if that'll blow the fuse. Yeah, it probably will. Actually, is there a fuse? There is. But the fuse is 4 amp. Guess we'll find out together. Okay. We have power. Okay. It's not my day. Not my day. Oh, let's see. So the motor immediately goes into overcurrent. Here's the crazy thing though, there is no load on this motor. And I do have some 12-volt batteries floating around. That's a little distressing. Where can I get? I do have some lithium-ion batteries as well. Lithium-ion, it will definitely work with, huh? That's 7.4 volt. Definitely handle the amps though. I wish I had a jump pack. Well, shoot. Oh, you know something? Guys, hold on. Now this guy here, I would love to see it do something. It still might. It says it puts out 10 amps. There's no way that this guy's going into overprotection just like that. Now it might be going into overprotection if this motor has got a bigger problem. Again, it's a $50, $55, 2,500 pound winch what are the odds that it's perfectly working fine? Not pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wheel over another very manly tool, which is definitely going to put out the amps for this bad boy. All right. One letdown after the other. Where are you? There you are. That's right, folks. Sometimes you just got to go with a bigger transformer. Yes, sir. If we're going to burn down the garage, we are going to do it tonight. Yes. All right. Let's see. What would be the safest place to not burn down the garage? I'd like to clamp these bad boys on. So this here is a Schumacher. This is a battery charger, and it's a beast, a battery charger at that. So it can put out 200 amps for engine start. Should be enough. Man, you think that little motor pull, we'll find out. You know, I might actually check that, because if it does pull 20 amps, that is not a good motor. It's got a gear reduction. You have to remember that. And I don't know. We'll figure it out. If that pulls 20 amps, I'll be damned. I mean, it is $50, so what are the odds that it does pull too many amps? Oh well. Okay, so the Schumacher, when this guy kicks on, it goes dunk. You know there's some business. All right, so what I need for this guy is a board. Oh, they're over here. All right. So, Mr. Schumacher, we are going to put, okay, you stay right there, and you guys get to watch the fireworks show right here, okay? So let's see, we got that one, we got this one. Boop. Right, no metal underneath. We're good. This is as safe gets, guys. I'll tell you what. Boop. I even got my safety goggles on. If something's gonna catch fire, at least I'm gonna save my pretty little eyes. Here we go. I'm gonna plug this bad boy in over here. All right. Okay. And the Schumacher, let's go AGM, let's do standard. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, that's the despooling. So I got to watch it when it despools, because the cable does want to just booger off. Okay, so I can hear the gear train on this guy. And I guess it is really probably rated for 2,500 pounds. So that means that it probably does pull some amps. You can hear it. Sounds, I don't know, sounds a little rough. But it works. So I just got to be careful when I reverse it. You know, the cable wants to go everywhere. Okay, so this guy is pulling some amps. It's too bad I couldn't see that on this display. So that's on 40 amp boost. Kind of curious. All right, so the goal is to hook this thing up down here on a skid, and that skid or the deck is going to go underneath the feet, and the motor is going to be center mounted, so it stays away from my head, of course, because you know, being scalped by a 2,500 pound hoist is not a good idea. Okay, I guess it's safe to shut this guy off. Or maybe I should charge the battery, huh? The one that was dead as a doornail. Let's do that. Hey, that battery wasn't that bad. It said I was sitting at 9 to 10 volts. I mean, come on. All right, there we go. If something catches fire, let me know. All right, guys? Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so I might have to put that battery on a trickle charge to build up its self-esteem, and then maybe I can hook it up to a proper charger. Did not seem like it liked that at all. No, it didn't. Okay, trickle charger it is. All right, so this guy here has got to be mounted to a skid. And here, hold on. Bam, there we go. All right, so the goal is, there is one winch point down here, and this is a limiting strap. So when you go fully inverted, that strap is supposed to stop it from going any further. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to hook it up here someplace. There's one mounting point. I guess this one right here. Yeah, I'll probably strap it right here to these under points and put it on a deck. So let's see. All right, first thing first, I gotta mount this guy on its plate, which, are these holes even lining up? Guys, I don't know why I expect things like quality when it's, it is what it is, but man, I really do appreciate quality when I get some. So these fasteners are all wrong. Lovely. The reason they're wrong is because this is your mounting plate right here, and I need them to be flush mount, and they're not. Unless I screw the plate like this and the winch goes sideways like that. Then it would work. That would look shoddy though. Let's do it. If it doesn't look shoddy, I don't know what to do here. So, all right, so we got a couple of these bolts through the bottom plate. And of course I'm gonna drop one because they don't give me spares. All right. And I like how they just put one of the holes slotted so that, you know, tolerances, we don't need tolerances. We're just going to make one of the holes slotted. Okay, there we go. And let's see, washer, lock washer, knut. Custom, there you go, see? A fellow that speaks the language of the technicians. I appreciate that. All right, let's see, let's try this again. Washer, lock washer, knut. All right. And in proper fashion, no, I am not going to sift through my drawer over there to find the proper wrench. I would rather just sit here and use a set of adjustable pliers. There we go. You know, you can do almost anything with vice grips. So, just showing you guys proper technique. There we go. So I was kicked out of my house last night, guys. That's why I'm so tired, because of they were filming a movie or something here at my house, and so they needed my house all last night, and geez, I was so tired. You know, we didn't get our house back till like 1 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, I didn't get to sleep very much, and I tried to make today an active day for me and the family, because I'm going to be gone all this next week over across the state. So, needless to say, I'm a little exhausted, guys. Then when I got back today from Children's Museum, I had to like do the video on the hydroculator and then whatnot. So here we are. Okay, so it works. It works maybe better than I thought. Ah, shoot. You guys probably knew exactly what I was doing wrong, didn't you? How am I going to remedy that? Okay. So the problem is I have 2 bolts down here. I was going to mount this guy sideways, which I do think is maybe, I don't know, that's still a shoddy configuration. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna screw it down normal, right through these. I know it'll be rocking like this. We'll figure it out. I'll space it out with some washers or put a nut on there or something so that it's not rocking. It's not going to be a heavy load at all. So anyway, I'm gonna put this guy on the deck. So my next steps are going to be to cut a deck and set this guy up. Have you guys ever seen a inversion table used? I can promise you it is not comfortable in the least, but it's such a game changer. So when you have one of these guys set up, you can find these guys, by the way, on like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. That's where I would buy them, because there's not too much that can go wrong when they're used, except mine here has been painted when I painted the garage. So I guess maybe there is stuff that can go wrong if you buy them used. But anyway, I'm never going to sell this guy. It's going to be with me to the day I die, I'm sure of it. So anyway, this guy here, there is a lumbar support. Make sure that you have that adjusted correctly for your lumbar. And even though it says 6 foot is here, I had to extend it to make me more foot heavy. In other words, take my torso and move me towards the feet. And that is because, like I said, the torso is going to be way heavier than your legs. So I have this set at 6 foot 1 inches. And when I do it, it's just about 50-50, all right? Just about. And that's why you can also move the lumbar support down if you need to. So there is some shackles down there for your boots. You step in, you clamp in, and then you flip upside down, and it is extremely uncomfortable. As your spine gets taller, it stretches. That'll be close enough. So you can see the problem is that it naturally wants to go towards the torso. And the key is to have just enough of a leverage where you can easily pull yourself up. And all the blood rushes to your brain. It's very uncomfortable. But I have the limiting strap on right now. And if I took that off, I would be fully inverted. And fully inverted means you are completely hanging from your ankles like so. As everything falls out of my pockets. Anyway, this is therapy. So the key is to relax, and as you relax, your spine will stretch. Oh, my car keys, my knife, everything falls out of my pockets, and I'm beet red. So the key is that you have to relax, and so I will go fully inverted for like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will go back up, and then you will be in extreme pain as you go back up. If you didn't know, your spine is also full of fluid, and because it's full of fluid, you feel that stuff shifting around, and sometimes you'll have really sharp, like stabbing pains. It's okay. It happens, and I know from experience. But the next day, you will feel different. And if you don't do an inversion, you will not feel very different. I mean, I have tried to live without one of these before, and I got 4 to 5 days in on my sciatic nerve being pinched, and you can't sleep, you can't do nothing. And needless to say, I get a little grumpy after a couple days of not sleeping. So anyway, yeah, this guy here is absolutely fantastic. I am going to see what I can come up with. I do have some material down there to create decks. I also have some carbon fiber that came from surgical tables. The risers on surgical tables, so that you can slide films, like real films, underneath them and take shots. They don't really use those anymore. So a lot of hospitals are throwing out those risers, but there's still a good use for them. It's a really rigid material. Matter of fact, I know I have some here, right here. Here's one, right here. Look, it's still got the words on it. It still says Steris right on the thing. But this is carbon composite. It's extremely dense. It's extremely flat, very flat, and it can handle a massive amount of weight, and you can machine the edges beautifully. It's a very rare material, and it's extremely expensive, all right? So you can find these all the time. If you do surgical, or if you're around a hospital and you'll see them laying around where they're throwing them out, these risers are wonderful for making jigs out of. I did make a mistake once before where I was cutting one of these on my saw stop table, and didn't go so well. This is carbon, and carbon is conductive. Yep. And that's also the reason why they use it in ORs, because as your patient's laying on the carbon, they are grounded. So any extra waves that your body picks up or whatnot, they become grounded as well. So even when you're using an ESU, if you have sufficient contact to like a surgical table, you will be grounded. So there's a lot. It's radiolucent, so you can shoot X-rays through it perfectly. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why these are fantastic panels, and you wouldn't be able to shoot radio X-rays through them very well if they weren't uniform. So they're uniform thickness and consistency throughout. So you're not going to have like artifacts or anything in the material. So wood, pretty much every other material that you use, if you build things, it's not going to be consistent, not very much at all. So this stuff right here, carbon fiber, if you can find it, it's fantastic. I think I still have some. I've given away hundreds of pounds of it. I used to have the underside right here just full of it, and I used to use it on my CNC machine that I no longer have. I think I might have 1 or 2 panels over there, but be on the lookout for those if you ever see them. I most certainly do. Is it bulletproof? Actually, you might be pretty close, because the key behind bulletproof is for a material to flex and accept the energy from the bullet. And here's something that this channel will never know up until now, is I do a lot of shooting, like a lot. And I used to have multiple reloading presses and stuff. I used to teach people handgun. My dad was on the Marine Corps, the pistol and rifle team. And he taught me to shoot when I was really young. And I'll tell you what, I've done a lot of shooting in my day. So I'm pretty familiar with ballistics, and I am kind of curious about that. Damn it. Thank you for that suggestion. But that's, that's, since guns are one of those political things that, I'd rather just stay away from on this channel. But guys, yes, I do a lot of that stuff on the side. Anyway, you can tell by my shirt. What shirt is that? Oh, 5'11", because I'm wearing 5'11". Yeah. But anyway, guys, yeah, I choose not to get political on this channel whatsoever, and sometimes it's been kind of difficult to do so. And the only politic that I get into, guys, is going to be right to repair, which there's been quite a few things been going on lately, and I am going to have some stuff to say about that pretty soon. All right, so yeah, that's amazing, guys. Next week, the week after this, is MD Expo, and man, I'm going to be shooting all sorts of videos the week after this. So the week of the 11th, 12th, 13th, and maybe even the 14th, I'm just going to be popping the videos. Like, don't expect a lot of editing, okay? Because there's so many people that wanted to talk to me, all these different companies. I'm going to have a live stream with Fluke, the guys over at Fluke. They're going to come down here and visit me. We're going to do a live stream, a live Q&A on their products, so that people can ask whatever questions they need and see how their products are done in real time. Like, we're gonna do, I don't know if we're gonna do infusion. We might do one or two with the IDAs, but we're definitely gonna do electrical safeties. We're going to do electrosurgery, and what else should we do? I don't know if I have a ventilator, so I couldn't do the VT900, but I'm very familiar with Fluke products, if you can tell. So, but anyway, guys, next week is going to be insane. I'm going to sit down with the guys from Rigel. We're going to do some videos. We're going to talk about some stuff coming out. Louis Rossman's coming down. We're going to be doing some videos. It's going to be, already they said that this has got their highest numbers ever, this show. So we're currently at 800 to 900 people going to be at this show. That's a lot of people, all right? So that makes this one of the most premier shows of the year, and I'm going to be doing all sorts of videos for you guys. Anyway, I'm glad that this guy's not broke. That's a good thing. I'll be doing another live stream when I show you guys how I set this guy up. Yeah. Louis too, for sure. He's a good dude. He really is. So I'm going to do the machining. I'm going to figure out the physics of this. So I'm going to do a spring-loaded return. Haven't figured that out yet, but I will. Guys, go check out the hydrocollator video posted about 30 to 40 minutes ago. It's fantastic. And I'm not saying so because I'm biased. I'm saying so because the editing is done better, because I have my new editor. He's doing a fantastic job. So go check that out. And I'll tell you right now, tomorrow I'm driving out nice and early, and maybe I'll be doing some videos, maybe with some new people out in Lubbock. So we'll see. I might stop by some shops out there. We'll see. And, just do some surprise visits on people, right? I love surprising people. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. I know this isn't that long of a stream. Obviously, I've got to go pack. That sucks. But anyway, that's the